A captivating and mysterious era unfolds before us. Picture a world where our ancestors, armed with nothing but their wits and primitive tools, faced the untamed wilderness. This was a time of raw survival, where every day brought new challenges and the line between life and death was razor thin. In the beginning, our early human relatives had only the most basic implements at their disposal. Sharp stones and wooden sticks became their first line of defense against the dangers that lurked in the shadows. These rudimentary tools were all that stood between them and the harsh realities of a world teeming with predators and scarce resources. As time passed, our clever ancestors began to experiment and innovate. They discovered that by carefully shaping and sharpening stones, they could create more effective tools. Knives, spears, and axes emerged from their skilled hands, transforming simple rocks into formidable weapons of survival. These tools became extensions of their very beings, used not only for hunting, but also for protecting their tribes from threats both animal and human. The hunt was a sacred ritual, a dance between predator and prey that determined the fate of entire communities. Our forebears developed a variety of hunting methods, each tailored to the environment and the quarry they sought. One of the most common techniques was stalking and ambush. Hunters would patiently track their prey, following telltale signs left behind in the wilderness. Footprints pressed into soft earth, droppings scattered along game trails, and bite marks on vegetation all told a story to those who knew how to read the land. Once they had located their target, the hunters would move with the stealth of shadows, inching ever closer to their unsuspecting prey. They waited with bated breath for the perfect moment to strike, their hearts pounding in their chests as they prepared to unleash their weapons and secure food for their families. But not all hunts relied on direct confrontation. Our ancestors were also masters of deception, employing clever traps to ensnare their quarry. Deep pits were dug along well-worn animal paths, carefully concealed with branches and leaves. Unwary creatures would plummet into these hidden snares, becoming easy targets for the waiting hunters. In mountainous regions, our resourceful forebears might set up elaborate systems of rolling stones, using the terrain itself as a weapon to corner or crush their prey. And in dense forests, camouflaged snares made from vines and branches could entangle animals, holding them fast until the hunters arrived to claim their prize. Perhaps the most significant development in prehistoric hunting was the advent of group tactics. This marked a major breakthrough in human cooperation and strategy. No longer were hunters limited to taking on only what they could handle alone. Now they could bring down beasts many times their size through the power of teamwork. In these coordinated hunts, each member of the group had a specific role to play. Some would act as drivers, using noise and movement to herd animals in a particular direction. Others would position themselves as blockers, cutting off escape routes and funneling the prey towards the waiting hunters. And at the heart of the operation were the spear wielders, poised to deliver the killing blow when the moment was right. This division of labor allowed our ancestors to tackle prey that would have been impossible for a single hunter to bring down. Mammoths, woolly rhinos, and other megafauna that once roamed the earth became viable targets, providing bountiful harvests of meat, hide, and bone to sustain entire communities. The mastery of fire was another game-changer in the story of human survival. Once our ancestors learned how to create and control this elemental force, their hunting prowess reached new heights. Fire served multiple purposes in the prehistoric toolkit. It was a deterrent, keeping dangerous predators at bay and allowing humans to claim territory that was once too perilous to inhabit. It provided light in the darkness, extending the hours in which hunting and other activities could take place. But perhaps most crucially, fire gave us the ability to cook our food. This simple act had profound implications for human development. Cooked meat was easier to chew and digest, allowing our bodies to extract more nutrients from each meal. This, in turn, fueled brain growth and cognitive development, setting us on the path to becoming the complex, thinking creatures we are today. Cooking also reduced the risk of foodborne illnesses, as the heat killed harmful bacteria and parasites that might have lurked in raw meat. This increased food safety meant that our ancestors could devote less energy to fighting off infections and more to exploration, innovation, and social bonding. Yet survival in the prehistoric world was solely about the thrill of the hunt and the taste of freshly cooked meat. Our ancestors understood the importance of a varied diet, and they looked to the plant kingdom to supplement their nutritional needs. While the men often focused on bringing down large game, women and children played a crucial role in gathering a wide array of plant-based foods. They scoured the landscape for edible roots, tubers that could be dug from the earth and provide a rich source of carbohydrates. Wild fruits hanging from trees or bushes offered sweet bursts of vitamins and natural sugars. Seeds from various plants were collected and ground into primitive flours or eaten whole for their protein and healthy fats. This gathering of plant foods was not just a backup plan for when hunts failed. It was an essential part of the prehistoric diet, providing a steady and reliable source of nutrition. In fact, in many environments, gathered foods made up the majority of the calories consumed by our ancestors. This diverse approach to foraging ensured that even if one food source became scarce, there were always alternatives to fall back on. The skills required for successful gathering were passed down through generations, with children learning from their elders how to identify safe plants, where to find them in different seasons, and how to process them for consumption. This accumulated knowledge became a vital part of human culture, laying the groundwork for future agricultural practices. As we look back on this era of primitive survival, we can't help but marvel at the ingenuity and resilience of our ancestors. They faced a world fraught with danger, armed with nothing but their wits and the most basic of tools. Yet through cooperation, innovation, and a deep understanding of the natural world, they not only survived but thrived. The legacy of these early hunters and gatherers lives on in our DNA, in the instincts that still guide us, and in the technologies we use today. From the first sharpened stone to the most advanced hunting rifle, from simple pit traps to complex fishing nets, the spirit of those early innovators continues to inspire human ingenuity. Their story is our story, a tale of adaptation, perseverance, and the unquenchable human spirit that drives us to overcome any obstacle. As we face the challenges of our modern world, we would do well to remember the lessons learned by our prehistoric ancestors, that with creativity, teamwork, and a respect for the natural world, there is no challenge too great for humanity to overcome.